No church is perfect. You ever hear that one before? I certainly have. Here's why that is not a good thing to say. It's ridiculous, and there's better stuff that we could say. When someone says no church is perfect, it's usually in the context of somebody else saying something bad has happened at a particular church. And so the response is, well, no church is perfect. In other words, suck it up, stay here, don't do anything about the problem, because if you go somewhere else, there's going to be problems there too. Here's the issue though. Nobody thinks that anywhere is perfect. We are not naive. People aren't as stupid as we tend to think they are. Give people credit. No one is looking for a perfect church. No one is thinking when they walk in the doors of a church that nothing bad will ever happen here. What they are thinking is that overall, the experience should be good. It should be positive. These people should be representing the way of Jesus. Not perfectly. People will make mistakes. Bad things will happen. And everyone gives room for that. But overall, the experience should be a good one, a positive one, a Christ-centered one. So when somebody brings up problems that are in the church, and I'm not talking about they don't like the carpet color, or, they wish the pews were some sort of different material or something like that. I'm not talking about ridiculous things like that. When they're actually talking about real issues in the church, it is never appropriate to respond with no church is perfect, because what you are doing in that situation is you are shutting down their problem. You are saying your experience is not valid because there are problems everywhere. Yes, we know there are problems everywhere. We're not looking for a perfect church. We're just looking for something to be a little bit better than the rest of the world. When I step in a church, I should be having an experience that is a little bit better than when I go to Walmart. I should not get better treatment at a local restaurant than I do at my local church. That's what people are asking for, is just a little bit more Christ-centeredness than the rest of the world. Not 100%, not 90%. Just, if 50% is baseline neutral, anything below that is negative, anything above that is positive, they're just asking for 60%. They're looking for something to be in the right direction. So a lot of times when an issue has arisen and someone tries to address it, and you tell someone that no church is perfect, you are just telling them to shut up, sit down, and deal with it because there are issues everywhere. Yes, there are issues everywhere, but some issues are bigger than others, and some are worth leaving over. See, I think this came about because sometimes there are people who will leave a church over a particular issue, go to another church. After a little while, they leave that church over an issue, and then it just kind of keeps going. And the pastors don't like seeing people church hop is the term for it. They don't like seeing that, so they just try to get you to stay where you are, grit your teeth, dig in your heels, and don't worry about the problems. But see, I think this is a misdiagnosis. The problem isn't that people are looking for a perfect church. The problem is that they are going too quickly from one church to another. You kind of have to think of churches like a dating relationship. If something happens where your significant other is abusive or harmful in one way or another, you're going to hopefully leave that situation. But then there's something that some people do that's called rebound dating, where you're so focused on wanting a better relationship that you jump into quite possibly another bad relationship just to be in a relationship. And that's what happens with a lot of people and churches. They leave a church because of a problem, and because they think they immediately have to go to another church, they find one that looks a little bit better, but really just has similar problems. And they just keep this cycle going over and over again. So the solution to this is not necessarily to grit your teeth, dig your heels in, and just ignore the problems. If there's a real problem, address it. And if people aren't willing to address it with you, you may very well have to leave. But then give yourself time to heal. You do not automatically have to jump to some new church for the next Sunday service. Take time to learn what is in your area. Take time to learn if maybe you actually want to be in a different kind of church, maybe even a different denomination or a different background. If you keep dating the same type of person and it's not working out, maybe you need to look for a different type of person to date. Maybe the problem is the category, what you're looking for. Maybe you need to find something a little bit different. Same thing with a church. Maybe you keep running into the same issues because you are dating the same type of church. Maybe you need to find something that's a little bit better. So please stop saying that no church is perfect. Everybody knows that. When you say that phrase, all you are telling the person is that I haven't actually listened to your issues. I am just trying to keep you here because if you leave, that makes me uncomfortable for staying now that I know you had an issue. So the problem is actually with the person who says that, not with you. If you're the person who has had that said to them, I am so sorry, and realize that that is not a healthy or helpful thing to say. You can disregard it. If you are someone who has said this to someone, please stop. What could you say instead? Well, for starters, you could listen to their story. You could ask questions about what the issues are that they're seeing, why they feel that there are these issues, what they have done to address it. Have they talked to the leadership? How did the leadership handle it? And then if they feel like they need to go, let them. Your church is not the only good one in the world. It's probably not even the only good one in your town here in America. So let people make their own decisions in their walk with God. And it will hurt when people leave your church because it's a community. That's natural. But don't let your hurt feelings get in the way of what they need to do to follow God. And be willing to ask yourself the hard questions if you are put in that situation.